welcome to Honest Violets. As you can see, today's topic is Odontoglossum, how to repot it. If you're for the first time on my channel, please subscribe and click on the bell button to be notified every time I post something new about plants or gardening. What I'm going to do is to show you how they're growing, what they're doing, how I'm going to repot them actually. They were all blooming when we got them, and now you can see this support which we don't need anymore, and I'm going to remove them. But as I said, they do not have any disease or any problem. It's just repotting. So this will be the process. I will be taking the plants out of the pots. I will be removing, of course, all old soil. I will be washing the roots. If there will be some dead roots or mushy roots, I will remove them, and I'm going to repot them. I will repot them in a bigger size transparent pots, and they will go into these ceramic pots. Now, most often you can see that Cambrias, Odontoglossum, they are coming in these pots that do not have holes from the sides, and they're also not transparent. But it's absolutely fine if you're growing them in transparent pots. I do like to do this with all types of orchids just because I'm able then to see the roots, to see if something is going wrong. I can just react immediately. Well, let's start. I will just move. Ooh, don't fall, don't fall. Yes, so I'm going to remove them. You can see that this is the older bulb and pseudobulb, and this one is already new growth. Now, these leaves are a little bit damaged just because coming out from like their growth, they were still, squeezed in between the leaves, and that's why they are not growing straight. But this is absolutely fine. There's no disease or anything here. So I'm going to remove the soil. And I'm also going to get rid of some old leaves and dry leaves together with old and dry or rotten roots. And for that, I am going to wear my gloves. They're all growing in a bright place, but without any sun. They are all in our meeting rooms, and actually two are in the meeting rooms, and two are on the windowsill of one of my colleagues who actually loves plants, and he asked for more plants around him, so two of them are growing just next to him. Hello, Dave. All right. So, well, I see that the roots are in a good condition, although some are just old roots, and this is absolutely fine. We will just need to remove them. They just need repotting and fresh soil. Well, here is what's left from the roots of this orchid. They're all, I must say, they're all healthy. I don't see any rotten ones. And actually, so this is, I will not be doing it right now, but I just want to tell you that, so this is the new growth, right? And you can see that this is the old part of the plant. I will come closer to you now. Yes, I would like to show you from here. As you can see, this is the oldest part of the plant. This is the oldest pseudobulb, so to say. And the growth is continuing in this direction. So one, and then two, and now this one has two new plants coming out of here. And now you can see that it's very easy to actually separate them. And then you will have like two separate bulbs. For example, you can just pull them, or you can just cut here with very sharp scissors or a knife. But here's the thing, that in order to have a strong plant that will bloom every year and will have lots of blooms and flowers, well, you actually don't need to rush separating them. If there is no place in the pot anymore for their growth because they're growing in one direction, in this way it's this direction, well, then you can cut and plant the bulb a little bit to the side of the pot. But you need to know that if you have just one pseudobulb, most probably it will not bloom for a couple of years until it grows, it gets strong, and then it will be able to bloom. Now, with this one, I maybe can remove this old one. I don't know yet. Maybe I will do it. I will see how after washing the roots. But this old one will not produce any new growth. Still, the plant needs it because it still participates in photosynthesis, and it's really useful for the plant for now. But I just tell you how the process of propagation, of division can actually be. But I'm not going to do this with this particular plant. All right, the next one. You can see it's absolutely fine with this plant too. I just can see that they need a little bit of, a bigger pot because they're growing like crazy, I must say. I guess they do like the conditions in our office because all of them are growing in the proper way. I do hope that they will actually bloom this year too. So one thing that I would like to draw your attention to actually is that when you buy new plants, Odontoglossum, they do not have aerial roots. So what you see here, for example, here or where? Okay, with this plant. So what you see here, it's not aerial roots. They do not have aerial roots, but these roots need to be under the soil. So that's why that's another reason why we need to repot it. It's just overgrown, you know. This one has huge pseudobulbs. I really like it. With this particular plant, I would like to remove these two pseudobulbs because they are the old one. These two were actually under the soil already and they will not produce any growth. I can easily get rid of them just by pulling them. I don't want to make a mess here, but I will just pull them and I will take them out. But you can see this one is absolutely new growth just within a couple of months. Wonderful. And look at the size of the pseudobulbs. And they're not wrinkled, they're perfect. And this one, see, it's not dehydrated, it just grows just fine. All right. And the last one. Yeah, you definitely need to repot them after they finish blooming because with this one I just saw turf cup, which you actually do not need. And I'm going to remove actually this pseudobulb too because it's quite old, and I will just remove the pseudobulbs that are not going to produce anything else. Well, maybe they will still grow, but you know, they're old and there will not be enough place for the new growth to continue. Okay, so we're done. I am going to wash the roots to remove all dry or rotten roots. Well, there are no rotten roots, but just I will remove the old roots. And how to understand which is the old root, which is not, is just by slightly pulling them. If they're dry or if they are just dead, then they will come out easily. If no, then no. You will feel it. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this old soil and of these pots, and I'm going to wash the roots, and I'll be back in a second. So now I washed the roots, and what I want to show you, these two pseudobulbs are old, they are very low, so they will be under the soil and they will not give anything to the plant, except for one day they will start to get rotten and they may be a source of bacteria or something else, or maybe the plant will start to even rot. And I just pulled just a little bit and all these two pseudobulbs just came out easily. But look at here. Look here, it's just absolutely gorgeous plant with absolutely healthy roots. You can even see that the new roots are growing, they're just white. You can see that the color differs. All right, well, let's get started to plant them actually. For this particular orchids, I will be using the medium of Frux because I have tried them actually with Phalaenopsis and they really grow perfect in that kind of medium, in this kind of medium. And I think that the only thing with these orchids is that they like to stay a little bit more moist than Phalaenopsis. But this just means that with these orchids growing in this kind of medium, I will need to water them more often, but that's totally fine. So what I'm going to do, of course, a little bit of medium at the bottom. And as I said, you can of course separate, for example, these two plants, and then you will have two plants, but then you need to remember that your plants may not bloom for a couple of years. And so that's why we of course want them to bloom in our office. And that is the reason why I am going to plant them now. Well, now you can see that this is the old growth and this is the new growth. And with this type of orchids, they are growing in one direction. So that's the reason why I'm going to put this pseudobulb against the wall, just like this, so that the plant will have place to grow in this direction. And I think for just 2 years, this pot will be quite enough for this kind of orchid to grow. And I'm just adding medium, not too tight of course, but I'm trying not to have any air pockets. Well, at least not big ones. All right. Try, of course, when you push the soil, try not to damage the roots. So don't do it really strong, but just enough to stabilize the plant. Let me check if I have some air pockets. Maybe just one here. All right, I think this is fine. And just a little bit more here. Now you need to make sure that you will cover with medium all the roots. Even if in the previous pot they were on the surface, you could see them, but that's just not right and you need to put them into the soil. Well, how do you like it? I like it. It's perfect. Here I see a little air pocket. I'm going to fill it with the medium, because then otherwise when I water it, the roots will, will not be growing in the medium. Oops, not in the medium, but in the air, so to say, and they will not be moist enough. All right, I'm adding a little bit here and a little bit more here. Perfect. And now this plant is ready to grow here. So much better, I must say. Yep, perfect. What I need to do, I will just water it and it will go to its proper place. Now next, honestly, I don't know, shall I leave? Maybe I will just remove this one and I will leave the second one. Yes, just this one. Now with this pseudobulb, actually you can throw it away because it's really old, or maybe it will still one day produce something, so you can repot it, plant it and see if it will grow something or not. But because it's still green. But these ones are definitely, they're almost dead, so you don't really need them. You don't need to even try with them. Well, for me, actually, it's so much easier if I work with slightly moist medium, rather than when it's completely dry, then it makes a mess, dust, and everything flies everywhere. So maybe it will be easier for you too. So as I said, the two new growths are here. This is the old pseudobulb. This means that this particular plant is growing in this direction. So this side will be towards the edge of the pot, just like this, so that it grows, it continues to grow in this direction. And I'm almost sure that in 2 years, this pot will be also full, and that's why I want to make sure that the plant will have space to grow. And I just add some medium. It's absolutely fine if the pseudobulbs are half in the soil. Don't bury them totally into the soil, but also not shaky on the surface of the soil, just to stabilize them, so to say. Checking again. Well, with this one there is no air pocket because the roots were actually less than with this one, and it was quite easy to plant it. Now this one. I will actually cut this dry flower spike, but this one I will leave because maybe it will still grow and bloom very soon. Now with this one again, you can see that, oh my god, these pseudobulbs are just huge. Can you see? This is my finger. You see? It's even, I don't know, it's like huge. And this one is even like bigger. Perfect plant, such a perfect plant. Well, you can see the growth. The old pseudobulb, there's tiny pseudobulb dead actually here that we don't need. This one is also under the soil with a little bit of roots. We don't need this as well. And then this one I'm going to remove as well. They come off so easily. You just pull a little bit and then the roots. See? Now again, I'm going to throw this away or maybe plant and see if it will grow. Alright, perfect. And now the same procedure with this one. Well, here the story is a little bit different because the new growth is here, but all this pseudobulb is also big enough and still strong enough. So I'm not going to remove anything and I'm not going to separate the plants to have a couple of them because, as I said, maybe this will stop flowering. This will kind of prevent the plants from flowering, so I don't want to do this. And I'm going to plant everything together just like this. And look at the roots. Perfect. And so now let me just clean this up, put them in the right pots, and then show you the results. Alright, so here I am with these 4 wonderful orchids. Here they're all repotted and they're ready to grow and bloom this year. Well, I will show you when they bloom and how they grow with photos on my Facebook page. And if you like the video, I hope this was useful for you. It's really easy to repot this kind of orchids. So click on the like button if you liked it, click on subscribe to see whenever I post something new, click on the bell as well. Oops. And stay passionate about plants. See you next time.